In this video, we're going to be covering one of the best screeners out there, Finviz. Now, let's just jump into it. As soon as you get on Finviz, this is what you're going to see, their main page. Now, we're only going to be looking at their screener today because honestly, this is the best tool they have, and this is what most traders and most people use their site for. Now, there's a bunch of other stuff, like seeing what the index have done today, looking at the heat map, knowing what the industry's been doing, top gainers, top losers, some technical analysis tools. I might make another video soon about those, but today we're going to be covering the screener. Now, what is a screener? A screener is basically a tool that you can use to subset the market and find stocks that fit criteria that you're looking for. So whenever you're running a strategy, you're not running a strategy on all the market. There's too many stocks. You gotta find stocks that have a predefined set of criterias that work well for your strategy. And that's why you need to screen for them. Now, this is how you're gonna use Finviz's screener, and Finviz's screener is very comprehensive and it's actually free to use. And that's why a lot of people use it. Now, let's say you're doing a fundamental strategy and you're a value investor. Okay, and you want to look, and I might give two examples, one for a fundamental investor and let's say one who wants to trade momentum stocks, growth stocks. So if you're a fundamental value investor and you want to look for some value stocks to invest in, you might want to say, okay, well, I want stocks that have a low PE. Now, look at this, there's 7,000 stocks that you have right now. If I want to start to narrow down this list and have fewer stocks, I gotta tell Finviz what are the criteria I'm looking for. If I go here on fundamentals, I can tell Finviz, look, I want stocks that have a low PE, a low price to earnings, because I know that low price to earnings stocks are value companies. I'm getting them for cheap, right? So I can select low. And then I went from 7,000 symbols all the way down to 850 symbols. Now, I might want to say, look, I want a stock that gives high dividends, because companies that give high dividends are stable and good companies. So I can go in descriptive, and in dividend yield here, I can say I want high yields. Now, I'm down to 173 companies. I might also have a criteria, since I'm a value and conservative investor. I want something that does enough volume. I don't want something too illiquid where I'm not going to be able to get out of my position when I need to. So maybe I'm going to say I want something that does over 300,000 shares a day. Then I might also have, now I'm down to 60 symbols. Okay, we got a company in Spain, Mexico. I might say I just want to look at US companies. I'll be down to 48 symbols. Then I might say, okay, well, look, I want something that's in the financial sector, because maybe my portfolio doesn't have enough of those. So you can just select financials, and then I'm down to 38 companies. Then I can look at those companies and see which one would be best for me as a value investor, right? And you have some that have super low PEs, and they look pretty good, right? So what information do I want to see from them? You actually have different informations. You can go under the valuation tab and see valuation information like PE, forward PE. You can see their earning, their EPS. If you want to look at financial information, you click on the financial tab. You'll see their dividends, ROE, ROI, debt to equity ratios, a bunch of other ratios that would be important to you. You can actually go under ownership and see what's the float on them, what's the insider ownership, institutional ownership, short float. So it's really up to you on what you want to look at. If you want to look even at charts, you can see their charts and it'll give you a quick look. Maybe you want something in an uptrend. So it's very helpful. And if you want to get more information, you can actually click on custom, and this you'd have to be an elite member. Being elite is maybe $30 or $40 a month. And the benefits you get from being elite is, for one, you can add custom information, and you can export this data to Excel. Otherwise, you just gotta view it on the website. There's a bunch of other things that are offered in Elite, but you know, these are the two ones affected by the screener. Now, you might want to click custom and then click on settings and tell Finviz what you want. Do you want to get return on equity? Do you want to get return on assets? Do you want to see the net profit margin? And if you are an Elite subscriber, you can actually export it to a CSV file. It'll just download. And then you can use that information to make your analysis, comparative analysis or whatnot. Now, if you're not a value investor and you're actually a trader like us, let me take this off, and you just want to do maybe a momentum strategy and you're looking for growth stocks that fit a certain criteria, you can use Finviz as well for that, and it's actually pretty helpful. Let's take this off. Here, financials. So if you're looking for a growth stock, well, we know that for growth stocks, we need something that has a high PE. So let's go to fundamentals. PE, let's put it over 40. So something that's expensive. Then we might say, well, a growth stock doesn't give any dividends, right? Because they're just reinvesting in themselves. I'll go no dividends, okay? Right now, I'm looking at 380 symbols out of the 7,000. I might say, okay, well, look, I'm looking at a certain sector. I only want to look at healthcare. And the reason for that is I know healthcare is very volatile and I want something volatile that can just explode. Then I might say, I also want to buy something as it's breaking up. I don't want to buy it at any time. So maybe I want to buy something when it breaks its 52-week high. So when it's at its highest. So I can go in under the technical tab, which has a lot of things that you can use for from a technical point of view. So the 52-week high would be one. 52-week high, I can select, okay, I want something that's at its new high. And now I'm down to only 6 stocks. So I can be looking at these stocks. And let's take a look at this one, for example. All of them are at their 52-week highs. And then my strategy can be around those. So those can be on my watch list. And if they're breaking up tomorrow and they're continuing this momentum, I can buy it. But then if they break down, I can just have a tight stop loss and take out a stop loss in that way. So this is really how you can use Finviz to screen based on a strategy that you have. So I really highly recommend using them. You don't need to be an Elite member. Their free version is more than enough. As you can see here, I didn't need to export in an Excel or anything. Something that's really nice about them is that they actually have alerts. So you can create an alert, but for that you would need to be an Elite subscriber. And that alert would permit you to get alerts via email for when a stock fills a certain criteria. So I might say, well, when the stock gets to the 52-week high, let me know right away. So I'll get an email and I can buy it right away as it's breaking new highs. So you can use it for that as well. I have guys who use it and they like it, you know. But otherwise, just the screener. If you have any strategy that you wanna run, you cannot run it on the whole market. You gotta subset the market. The whole universe is too big. Subset the universe to a specific set of symbols that fit the criteria that work best for your strategy. And Finviz is going to be one of the best tools for you to do that. If you guys have any more questions regarding Finviz or regarding any other tools, post it down in the comment. I'm most definitely going to make another video where I show you how to do some more in-depth screening using Finviz and some other tools. For now, take care, guys, and I'll see you next time.